Happy Thursday, listeners. This is the podcast where we talk life, love, and literature. I'm Althea London, and along with my co-host, author El Loren, we are on Words. So follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and here at Blog Talk Radio. Thank you for joining us tonight, and our guest, author Carolee Samuda. Carolee, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Author Ellerin, are you there?
I'm
Yay!
here.
All right. The gang's all together.
Yes, we're here.
Yes. So, Carolee, let me start off. I ask everybody this question, just in case you are new to our listeners. Who are you and what do you write?
I am crazy. I'm a crazy person, and I write romance, interracial romances, mainly, and paranormal, science fiction, historical, anything.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot. And how long have you been writing, may I ask?
Okay. I've been writing for a long time, but I've been publishing since 2016. I've been a ghostwriter for about 10 years before that.
Oh my gosh, that's fascinating. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into another question because I had no idea that you were a ghostwriter, and I think you're the first author that I've ever interviewed that mentioned ghostwriting. So tell us a little bit about your journey from writing behind the scenes, with someone else putting their name on your work, to publishing, for yourself.
Yes. First, my reason for ghostwriting was to make a living writing because I've always wanted to be a writer. And thought it was a good way for me to earn instantly. And so I did that. And I remember one author, a male friend, said to me, whatever you write, your name should be on it. You should not be giving away your talent. Mm-hmm. And I took that seriously. And in 2016, I published my first standalone, and then I made it into a series. I also debuted as Dinah Flame in 2016 as well with a science fiction romance. So that's the reason why I transitioned, because I really wanted to put my name on whatever I write.
Yeah, yeah, and I so get that. Wow. And what great advice, that your friend gave you, like, don't give your talent away. And I like the idea of ghostwriting. I don't know if I could tell us, somebody else's story like that, but I love that idea of what he said about not giving your talent away and, having your name on your work. I think it changes the nature of your relationship with that body of work when your name is on it. And that's just,
true.
Yeah, that's just my author hat speaking, but I'll stop because I know Lisa has her own questions.
Well,
hi, Lisa.
I know you. Hi. I noticed that you have so many different genres that you write in. How do you determine what to write and when?
Okay. The genres, I think the ghostwriting spoiled me because I wrote so many different genres for different authors, for different persons. And so I have all these stories and plots in my head from long ago. So I wanted to get them out. That is the reason why I write so many genres.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And to follow that up, how do you decide which one to write at what time?
I'm sorry? I didn't hear that.
How do you decide which one to write at one time? Because I know as a writer, I have to hear my muses talk to me. So is that the same for you?
Yes, I don't decide anything. All my crazy voices.
Oh God, that is so funny. So you totally let your creative voice lead you in the story.
Yes, I do. If I try to control them, I get a totally different story than what's in my head. And I've
Okay.
been trying to control because readers would say, oh, this is not what they want or whatever, and try to control based on what readers would say. And I
Mhm.
realized that I was denying myself, so I started to just let myself go.
Okay. Yeah, and I understand that too. Like I am an author who actually reads my book reviews, and I know some authors choose not to read their book reviews. And I often wonder, does that change the nature of the story in your head when you incorporate like the critique from
Yes,
from readers? And so
yes, it does.
you think it does?
Yes, I think it does because you're trying now to bend yourself, to mold yourself into what you think the readers want based on
Hmm.
their critique. And then somehow what's inside of you that wants to come out isn't coming out because
Hmm.
that's not what you're supposed to be writing. You're supposed to be listening to your voices.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
that's just
agree
my
with that.
opinion. Hopefully.
Yes,
I
I
agree
can.
with
I can
that.
see that. Yeah, I can totally see that. So I'm going to ask this because I mentioned it already, but tell us about that first book that you wrote. What was that book, and what was it like to release that book into the world with your name on it? What was the book? What year was that? And what was that story?
Okay, the first story I published was a short story, and I took it down in like a week. But the
Hmm.
first actual novel that I published was a story for a client who did
Hmm.
not pay me, and
Oh.
I canceled the contract, and I decided to make it into a novel, and it a 15,000 word short story turned into 30,000 words, and then it turned into 50,000 words. So that
Wow.
was in 2016, and that is His Sacrifice for Love. That was the first real. It was a clean romance. It was a
Oh
clean.
wow.
Yes, and yeah, that's how the journey started.
Kelly, can I just tell you, I love your spirit because I'm gonna tell you something. If I did some work and somebody didn't pay me, me and that story would probably wrestle a little bit. Like there'd be some emotion attached to it, and I love that you turned that into something positive, and it gave birth to your publishing career. I think that's an awesome story.
Yes, we as writers, whatever we write are our babies, right? So
Yes.
you
Mhm.
know that even though you're contracted to write something, you kind of hold it there. Because I used to like log into my clients' Amazon accounts, not
Uh-huh.
on their dashboard, on Amazon to see the reviews of what I wrote. You know, so you kind
Yeah.
of hold those stories dear to you because you wrote them, you wrote the words. I wasn't gonna let that go.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that led me. You kind of spoke to my next question because you were talking about ghostwriting, and then you said that what you write are your babies. I was going to ask, how do you let that work go? You just give it to
It's
somebody, they
hard.
slap their name on it, and then they publish it, and
It
then
it was
yeah,
the most difficult thing, especially when you see someone become USA Today best-selling author or Amazon. You see the tags, the yellow tags or orange tags on your work, and you're like, oh my God, that should be me. That's my work. but you
Oh
know,
my
you
goodness.
have a contract, so you can't. So you know, I don't regret letting it go. I don't regret a minute of it. I don't regret a
Wow.
minute of taking control of my own writing.
Yeah.
I,
Wow. I'm going to tell you something. That never occurred to me that I don't want to say that that's a risk that you take ghostwriting. I mean, it's a benefit to see your work receive that type of, accolades within the community. But, that would be huge to write a piece and then have, that piece, rise to number one on the charts or, receive acclaim like USA Today or New York Times and, and not have your name on it. Wow. That's,
It was difficult. Yes.
yeah. I'm sure that's not an experience a lot of a lot of writers can speak to. Um, did you see that happening? Did you see that as a possibility when you released that story to the author that put their name on it? Like, this one is going to hit a chart. Did you see that happening with that story? Did you feel that?
No, no, I didn't because I was still like doubting whether or not I was a good enough writer. So I was always like doubting myself and trying to make myself better, a better writer. And each story I give to my clients would be better than the last. So, I never thought that they would become USA Today bestselling authors or Amazon #1 authors. It never occurred to me.
wow.
Mm.
That is crazy to me. And then they just put their name on it and smile and go to the book signings and sign their name to your book. That is crazy to me. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. It still sounds crazy to me now.
Mm. But did that bolster your confidence?
It did, but sometimes I feel even though that I gave away the best of me then, and then things happen along the way on your own journey that makes you question whether or not you're good enough. So it did boost my confidence then, and I'm trying to let it boost my confidence now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Lisa?
Now, I know that you also, and in addition to writing, you are an excellent cover designer. I wanted to move into that because for the listening audience, you guys, Carolee saved one of my books, and she designed one of the covers for Tennessee's Whiskey, and that is my best-selling book to date. And I attribute a lot of that to that cover. So, Carolee, tell us how you started doing cover designs and why you do them.
Well, it was I was broke. Oh yes. I did some graphic design work while working at an institution. I used to make flyers and brochures. Nothing like book covers. But with the need I had to make my own covers, I had to learn fast. I was broke after quitting ghostwriting. I had no money for editing, nothing. So I started making my own covers. I've made a cover of every book I've ever published.
Wow.
So, and I am improving along the way. So, when I saw that cover, Tennessee, it was the font that I knew was the wrong font for that genre. So, I thought, let me do something. Yeah. I like doing stuff like that because I'm show off,
Well, I'm glad you did because